So we have a DVD that we would like to buy. The DVD in the shop, it costs normal price 180 kronas. But it's going to be discounted by 35%, so they're going to take off 35% from this price, and you're going to pay the difference then. Well, if they discount 35%, how much are we going to pay? Well, we'll be paying 100 minus 35%, which would be 65%. So the easiest thing I think to work out is, instead of working out first 35% and subtracting, is to actually work out what we need, what the question's asking us. And it's asking us, how much money are we going to pay? Well, we're going to pay 65% of 180. And the way that I usually think about this is I write it as I say it, 65%, 65 parts of 100 of, and then I put a multiply sign every time I say of 180 kronas. Well, when we set it up like this, it's actually quite easy to solve, because we have a 0 here that cancels with the 0 here. So then we get 65, which we can multiply by 18, 65 multiplied by, but instead of multiplying by 18, let's multiply it by 1.8, because 18 divided by 10 gives us 1.8, and then we'll get the answer that we want directly. When we're multiplying, we start on the right hand side as usual. We multiply the 8 by everything in the top row, so 8 times 5 is 40. 8 5s are 40, we put down the 0 here and we carry over the 4 to the next number. 8 times 6, 8 6s are 48, plus we add the 4 that's up here. So 8 6s are 48, plus 4, 52. Then we're moving one step to the left, so we put in our magic 0 here. Remembering that we're multiplying a factor 10 larger, so we have to, before we can start multiplying the 1, put in the 0 there. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 6 is 6. So we get 0, 7, 11. We had one decimal point in the question, remember. It was 1.8, so we have to put a decimal point back in the answer. We have to move one place back with our decimal point, giving us 117. So 65% of 180 is 117 kronas. 117 kronas. This is one of the ways, this is the method that I think is one of the quickest ways of working out 65%. One of the other ways that the book shows you, it's a really good starting point, and I'd like to recommend that you start working percentages out in this way, is that you know that you're trying to work out 65%. 65% of 180 kronas. Well, if we work out what 1% is, we know that, instead we should start thinking like this. We know that 100% is the same as, the full price is the same as 180 kronas. What then would be 1%? If the full price is 180 kronas, what is 1%? Well, we'd go from 100 to 1% by dividing by 100. So we must do the same thing on the other side of our equivalent sign. So 1% must be also the same as 180 divided by 100, which would be 1.8. Now we know what 1% is. 1% is equivalent to 1.8 kronas. So to go from 1% to the percent that we actually want, which is 65, we multiply 1% by 65 to get 65%. So we do the same thing here with our 1.8. We multiply by 65% to get what 1.8 is. And how do we do that? Well, we do 65 times 1.8. And if we look, we've already done that multiplication here, and we know that we get the answer 117 kronas. So it doesn't matter which method you use. You can either do my method where you write everything up directly, or you can start with working out what 100% is and then go from 100% down to what 1% is, and then from 1% you then go to the final percentage that you want, just by multiplying by the same factor each time. We went from 100 to 1% by dividing by 100, and we went from 1 to 65 by multiplying by 65. So you can use this technique. Either of the techniques is fine. Good luck with this question.